I need to know everything I can about this right now, because for those who don't know, and let me double check real quick. If I'm not mistaken, today should be... No, not today. I think tomorrow should be... Registration should open for the race. And then Sunday is going to be the actual race, starting at 11. And for those who don't know what I'm talking about, Path of Exile is going to have a little bit of a celebration for this new update that just came out. And in order to celebrate it, they're having a race to first to kill the Act 3 boss, Dory. You are going to have to create a whole new character. There's going to be one this Sunday, one the next Sunday, and a third one the Sunday after that. And, but however, there's going to be a new patch, a new update today, or that just came out recently. And I want to know everything I can about it, what's going on, so I can sort of, like, plan it out. We are going to be going for a witch build, because that's just sort of my main, and the one I'm, like, most, I have, like, the most kitted out, built out, I already know exactly what I want. And frankly, I don't know, I personally like the witch build better. But yeah, it looks like it's going to be, we can register tomorrow, starting tomorrow, and then Sunday's going to be the actual race. So let's see what's going to happen, let's see if there's any major, differences, changes, something I might need to know.
So Path of Exile 2 has been teasing out a bunch of changes.
Is it on Game Pass?
That's coming with...
I doubt it. It's still early access. Maybe. Probably Path of Exile 1. I can spell real good. Did you know that? Did y'all know I spelled really well? Really good? Really amazing good? No, not on Game Pass. It is gonna be free to play though. Path of Exile 2. When it fully releases, it's gonna be free to play. Yeah, no.
0.2.0. So if you haven't seen the teasers related to like new support gems,
Master Sam, not on Game Pass, but it is gonna be free to play once it fully comes out. Either that, or you gotta put down $30 to get early access. And not for nothing, but the $30 that you put down for early access, they give you like $30 worth of like in-game currency, so you can like buy stuff if you want. Which I used all of my money on the stash tabs. And it's definitely the kind of game that I'm gonna be willing to put more money into, like flat out.
One in particular is kind of controversial, but also I think they sort of
and you wanna know why? Because I can literally bring all of my cosmetics from Path of Exile 1 to this one. Like, if you have a pet in Path of Exile 1, you can bring it to Path of Exile 2. Like, these guys have shown very well that they care about their community and want this to, like, go on for a long time. So it's like one of those things where it's just like, oh, that's freaking sick. That's cool. Like, I like it. And I might even go back to Path of Exile 1 to buy pets in Path of Exile 1, just so I can have the pet in Path of Exile 2. I want the Shadow Fox.
Actually, whatever you want to call it, some changes that are going to be happening to in-game mapping that's a little bit more substantial. So let's break down all of that. Before we do, this is your final day. If you want to, as of the posting of this video, if you want to come by the live stream, if you watch for 2 hours, you will get this cloak in both Path of Exile 2 as well as Path of Exile 1. There's Twitch drops going on. This ends today, at the end of the day, actually. So just your final warning. I'll have a link down below in case you're interested. They're starting to tease out unique items.
We were streaming yesterday, y'all. If y'all weren't there, y'all weren't there.
We've already shown this on this channel here. New helmet allows you to wear two-handed axes, maces, swords, etc. in one hand, but you can't wear a chest plate. And then they have a two-handed...
I think it registered for me. I just need to link my account is all.
Mace here with a reduced attack speed and shrines. But now they're starting to tease other things. So we have...
And yes, drops are always on for all of the games that we play. If there are any drops, they are on, and it should tell you if you join us on Twitch whether they are on.
Support skills here that have been teased out as well, sort of targeting things that are a little bit lackluster or not really as high of percentage in the meta. They actually have some interesting information around the meta we'll talk about in just a moment here as well.
Not today.
So if you look at this is effectively a support skill.
Not today, Master Sam. I'm gonna pick up a kid from school, not today.
So it's not things for things like bleeding or ignite, it's for things like contagion, for instance. Now it gives you an energy shield cost that is equal to your intelligence, but as your intelligence goes up and the cost goes up, so does the damage. Supported skills do 8% more non-element damage over time per 100 intelligence, and that's more as opposed to increased damage, so it is multiplicative instead of additive. So we'll see exactly how that's going to pair with things like contagion, for instance. You can see they got just a little video right here kind of showcasing a dot-based damage. Now
that's pretty cool though. So it's kind of like the what is it? It's kind of like blood magic, where you can use your health to cast spells instead of your mana pool.
Interesting. Supported skills trigger a volcanic eruption on hitting ignite enemies. Pretty much self-explanatory. The video here shows you a little like almost like molten blast looking thing kind of coming out of there from hitting an ignited enemy. Next one here. If supported skills,
I mean, not for nothing, that could work. That could help out with Bone Breaker. Right, it's a support gem. Yeah, that could help with Bone Breaker. Just throw a little bit of extra something.
Would gain,
but I feel like in most situations, Bone Breaker will. I mean, if it's not one-shotting after you cause a stun, what are you doing, right? So maybe Leap Slam.
Extra damage of any other type, they gain extra code damage instead. So kind of way of transfusing the types of damage there. And then they have Concoct, 20% of your...
Oh, okay, I can see that. That's kind of cool. If you have like gloves, so I'm assuming if you're wearing gloves, that's like fire damage. It'll convert it to lightning.
Your maximum life flask charges on use. It consumes 20% to have 2% more magnitude of bleeding. They inflict per life flask charge consumed. So we have like a kind of a weirdly worded, but effectively your life flask charges convert into more magnitude of bleeding. Again, that's multiplicative. So we have sort of a bleeding buffed one there. And then look at this one, it's kind of interesting. Ailments inflicted by support skills have 30% increased magnitude if you are inflicted with that ailment when you are inflicting it. So when inflicting an ailment with a support skill, remove that ailment from yourself. So an example of this one would be, I think it's called Doriani's Prototype, I forget exactly the name, but there is a chest plate that will shock you as you gain charges. And so you could basically have it where you're gaining charges, get shocked, then cast back out shock and inflict that shock that was on you is as a magnitude onto somebody. Just as one like bad example here. But so some kind of like more oddball type of support gems, kind of interesting ones, more than just like straight up damage or something. You know, you get these little volcanic eruptions. I'm sure someone would do a build around this in attack speed. And then you have a nice little buff addition there to debuff. So we're getting some new support gems with 0.2 as well. As a reminder, they got to continue adding, support gems, etc. into the game because there's not that many at the moment. There's not like that many support gems in the game, so they're going to continue to add these. I'm assuming with each major update, but also there's 6 new basically.
And I'm glad for it.
Types coming into the game as well.
Because honestly, with those support gems, some of them really, really changed the freaking playstyle all the way the freaking round. Like and I'm not gonna lie to you, one of the best freaking support, like, one of the absolute best freaking, like, support gems ever, especially if you're using it with, Grim Feast, is Cannibalism, dude. Put Cannibalism on, you gain health, like, 1% for every, on kill for every enemy defeated, plus with, along with, Grim Feast, so that you gain, like, every time you defeat an enemy, you gain a bit of shield back. Phenomenal, dude.
So we need even
absolutely clowns on the Blood Witch's like mana leech. I mean health leech.
Support gems to fit all of these different styles and roles that are still coming. They've done a bunch more teasers related to art, and one really funny one they did, if we scroll up here, is if you take a look at this, they did bosses fighting each other, so you can kind of put in what bosses you want to see fighting each other, and they're doing videos of showing.
That's freaking sick!
Another. I said I want to see a Sea Hag versus 5 Arbiters. Now this one is interesting. This is February 18th through the 25th here. They're kind of giving you a 1-week snapshot into late league start for Path of Exile 2. The most played ascendancies. Look at this. Invoker and Stormweaver. So effect.
Really? Damn, okay. I really thought playing a minion witch, I was like being like super like mainstream. And I mean I am. I'm freaking 3rd place, But still, I really thought I was being like the meta. Okay, so it's Monk, really. It's an even split between Monk and I went Infernalist Witch for my main. I got a Pathfinder. And I have a sorceress chronomancer that I'm using with Hammer of the Gods.
Effectively, this basically means like Ice Strike Monk and Spark Monk are extremely prevalent, and then we have Infernalist as a third. This makes sense. These are literally the three classes I myself have played the most as well, so I would understand, like, these are the ones I was drawn to. I'm sure most people are getting drawn to the same thing. So if you look at these three classes are making up, you know, more than
average player level. Mean 75, median 89. I wonder, I wonder how much of that is also artificially extended, you feel me? Because it's like, I wonder, like, what are my characters at? I think they're all above 70, at least. My witch is like an 82, 83, I think. Yeah, my lowest is 71, Chronomancer. 78 for Pathfinder, so about to break 80. And then level 82 for Infernalist. And I'm hoping to create next a mercenary that fires grenades as a machine gun. I think it's gonna be cool. I think we can make it work. It's gonna be awesome.
Half of the total meta at the moment. We have 900 billion gold dropped, 1.5 million gold per second. And this is actually really surprising. The mean average player level is 75 and the median is 89. This means players are getting through the campaign. Like most players are getting through, as compared
Absolutely.
to, you know, as...
Frankly, the campaign is amazing. Once you get to endgame, you really... There have been so many times that myself, Burrito, and Chaos have gotten to endgame, done some maps, and then find something so freaking brand new or so wild and different that we're just like, damn, alright, no, there's still so much game to go through, and we, like, it's freaking awesome. We're loving it.
Compared to what I would say, like Path of Exile 1, where I think most players do not make it through the campaign, at least in this later stage of this league. You know, I guess the data is a little skewed here going into, you know, this is later into February, but that's much higher than I would have.
See, now I gotta level up all my characters to 90. I don't want to be a part of the. I don't want to be a part of the statistic. I want the new average to be 90.
Deaths. Okay, now we get on to what was the controversial change. Now, I liked this originally when I watched it.
Oh, and by the way, around 70 is pretty much like on par. 70 to 75 is pretty much on par for like you've completed Act 3 on normal and cruelty difficulty, and now you're in the end game. So that's about where, like, with all three of my characters, that's about where I ended up at. And I didn't really even grind too much or anything like that.
What's going to happen here is towers can now have content in them. So you can effectively, like, you're running the tower, you can find a breach or something like that within it as well. But as we listen to this, someone pointed this out in my chat and was like, what do you think about the tower change?
Good change. That absolutely adds a butt ton of possibilities to the map now.
Well, you know, I don't mind hitting a breach along the way or something. They're like, actually, DM, that's not the way it works. Like, did you catch what they said? And I was like, I did not. So listen to this and see if you catch the same thing here.
In the 020 update for Path of Exile 2, we'll be giving all content the ability to spawn in tower maps, including bosses. This means towers will have the same clear requirements as regular maps, and you'll need to fulfill these requirements in order to activate the tower.
So, there is the part that kind of changes my opinion on this, but also when we get into the potential, maybe they kind of leak what's going on, because what they said there is that, you know, you can get more content in the towers, which for me is fine. There's an argument to be made. It's not good for min-maxers, because if you're trying to juice up a certain area, you could accidentally hit a tower next to you with the juicing, if you put the tablet in, etc. I guess this could be solved by clearing all the towers first and then juicing the area, but regardless, this is one argument I have seen, so fair is fair to that argument. However, what he said there in the beginning is the towers, you have to do the map requirements like a normal map, effectively. So currently, if you didn't know, the map requirements, if you're Citadels, well, actually all of them, I guess even Citadels, the map requirements for clearing are kill all rare mobs. So this means that this change effectively means that you're going to have to clear all rare mobs on a map, or on the tower map, in order to be able to activate the tower. So this is kind of a controversial change, and originally I liked it until I heard we have to kill all rare mobs, because a lot of times the people.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I absolutely agree that it's gonna be making it like more difficult than what it was, and it's gonna be a bit like weird and different. But at the same time, some of these maps, dudes, are pretty freaking straightforward, especially on the map that they're currently showing. It's like a straight line going up, like. You know what I mean? If anything, it'll guarantee more rare drops.
People want to do.
Better loot.
Actually, what I do myself is I just run to the end and activate the tower. Like, I haven't really been upset about the towers. I've seen a lot of people really don't like towers. Okay, for me, I never really thought it was that big of a deal.
Yeah, no, I am totally fine with them. I love them. It's an easy way to progress through your tier maps if you go through them. I really see them more as like just stepping stones. Really, just like an upgrade, a modifier for the for the maps around the area. So I never really thought about them as like, oh, this is a good map for XP or a good boss or a good loot map. No. It's more like it's a map that just helps you progress quickly, and then also additionally can give you better loot in other maps, you know? But if they're gonna put rare monsters on it, I'm actually all about it, because I would love more opportunities to get rarer drops.
Sometimes you run to the end and they hit the tablet. Now, if I got to kill every single rare mob on one of these towers, it might be a little bit more annoying. So that's kind of where the change controversy kind of comes in there. So you're welcome to.
I feel like if people want to talk about like difficulty, like as far as like difficulty, like what would the term be? Difficulty balancing? Corpse bombs, insta kill moves, landmines.
To lean on either side of how you feel about that. However, this part right here, listen again.
Pixel 2 will be giving all content the ability to spawn in tower maps, including bosses. This means towers will have the same clear requirements as regular maps.
The same clear requirements as regular maps. Well, there's only one clear requirement that I am aware of, but requirements, okay? My copium take is the reason they're adding this is because they are adding different clear requirements to other maps as well. And what they do while they're showing this is they're showing a boss here. So maybe what they're doing is if a tower or any map really has a boss in it, you can kill the boss, and that is a clear requirement. Maybe if it has a breach, you can do the breach, and that's a clear requirement.
I would not mind if they did that. Like, well, if they made it so that on a boss map, you only have to defeat the boss, and you do not have to defeat the rares. I would be fine with it, though myself, I would fully be going to clear the rares, because I would want the drop, the chance at drops.
In Path of Exile 1, there was something called Keurig missions, which in order to clear the Keurig mission, you basically had to go and do whatever the target was, or say like do an abyss or do a breach or what have you. So we could be seeing something related to in-game mapping changing for the requirements. Before this change in particular that they announced here, this is actually common feedback that we've seen. I myself have sent this feedback. Multiple, other people have sent the feedback. I've seen it in the comments from you guys as well, that not everyone likes the whole having to just kill every rare mobs. In fact, so much to the point that one of the things they've done to kind of sort help solve this is they've added checkpoints into the map. So if you missed a rare mob, you can checkpoint back, right? That's why we have checkpoints in the map. So if you miss something, you can go find it. But that's sort of, as many people have pointed out, a band-aid fix for the issue at the moment. So we might be seeing band-aids.
Honestly, reduce the time it takes for the rares to be uncovered. Flat out. It's fine. No, nobody cares. Shoot, I don't even think anybody would care if you just let the rares from the very beginning be shown on the map, on the mini map. There's really no reason not to. I get it. You want them to run around the map and clear everything, but if you're trying to speed it up, or you're trying to make it easier for everyone, just freaking do that. And I'm sure people will appreciate that. It'll make the grind, overall grind faster.
To try to fix this issue by adding other requirements into the map would be my guess, and into this in terms of what I'm hearing here, as well as this change. Otherwise, it's just kind of maybe not the best change. Honestly, I think it might actually make towers slightly more annoying. I am curious to see what the community thinks about towers. Do you like towers? Do they not bother you? Or do you have like no feelings about them? Do you absolutely?
Not only do they not bother me, but I also but they're actually really, really good maps because you can finish them very quickly, and sort of like get your quest done faster, so you can like start to get like more and more Atlas points from Dory. And frankly, I don't know. It's the fact that you can, you know, upgrade the maps around it that I love it. And at least for me, maybe because I'm not really going after the citadels yet. You get me? Maybe that's why. But for me, at least, having the towers gives me a direct line of like, no, I'm going for that tower, because if I go for that tower, I can use this tower to give everything in the area a boss. And then if I go for the next tower over there in like a circular pattern, I could give everything irradiated, then go for the next one, and I could give everyone everything, you know, you know what I'm talking about. Delirium, there you go, Delusion. Delirium! So it's like, I don't mind them. If anything, I think they're a positive overall. They don't really take too long. If anything, they're shorter than the other maps, so I don't really see a reason to complain. If they wanted to add rares to them, I would be fine, so long as they don't like increase the size of the maps, so that you can still just like make a beeline straight for the cursor and just don't defeat the enemies along the way. You know, that's fine. I'm fine with that. More XP for me, damn it. People complain about XP all the time, leveling up, and then they don't want more tough enemies.
Requirement, because they did say that in order to be able to activate the tower, you have to fulfill the requirement first. So you can't just blitz to the end and activate the tower. Now we have about 2, arguably 3 weeks until the launch of 0.2, and they're starting to put out, you know, a pretty decent amount of teasers every couple of days. We're getting a new one of these, so if they keep up the pace between now and then, this is actually going to be probably the largest update we've had since then. In the meantime, holding this over, you got your drops today, but also today releases Monster Hunter Wilds. Now it releases here in just a few hours, so I'll probably check that out as well, because I'm kind of curious. Never been a big Monster Hunter guy. I heard it's really good. I only play the very small amount of worlds, and that's about my whole Monster Hunter.
I have played quite a bit of Monster Hunter, but it's always been solo. Never really played on the interwebs with like communities and stuff.
Experience, so we'll see what that's like. Also,
I would like to try though.
In the meantime, you can farm your free Twitch drops. I'll be live now of the posting of this video, and then we'll check out Monster Hunter later. That's about it. Let me know what you think of the teases. See ya.
Hey, what's up, guys? Rip here.
Phenomenal video, my dudes. Please go and drop Darth a like. Go drop him a sub, go drop him a comment, all that good stuff to show the algorithm that we care. Thanks for hanging out. Like or dislike, comment, and subscribe, and become a Monodachi today. I live stream all day, Monday through Friday, so go say hi. That's all for now, Monos. Goodbye, and thanks for swinging by. Salut!